Welcome to the old city of Jerusalem, everybody. I am right now, right outside the entrance of Jaffa Gate. I just walked into the old city. Why is it important for me to be doing a video right now in the old city of Jerusalem? Because Amnesty International just came out with a horrendous anti-Israel report trying to put pressure on Airbnb.com, TripAdvisor.com, Airbnb.com to forbid Jewish listing of properties in the old city of Jerusalem and in Judea and Samaria. Why? Because they call this land occupied Palestinian territory, and therefore Israel is profiting from our occupation of Palestinian land. Now folks, you guys know the truth. Here I am in the old city of Jerusalem. Jerusalem is a walled city. Eternally, it's been one undivided city. And yet, you have people lying to the world that the Jews don't belong here, that there is an East Jerusalem and a West Jerusalem. Jews don't belong in the old city. Jews don't belong in the East Jerusalem area. Jerusalem has always been a Jewish city for over 3,000 years. It's always been an undivided city. The only time it was divided was by the Jordanians, their illegal occupation between the years of 1948 and 1967. And it was the Jordanians who destroyed the Jewish homes, destroyed the Jewish synagogues, expelled the Jews, and it was forbidden from Jews from living here or even visiting here. The only time there was an illegal occupation here is the Jordanian occupation between 1948 and 1967. Today, Jerusalem is once again undivided under Jewish rule, under the Israeli state. But yet, according to Amnesty International, where I'm standing right now, it's illegal for a Jew to stand, it's illegal for a Jew to have property, it's illegal for a Jew to live, it's illegal for a Jew to have a property on TripAdvisor.com or Airbnb.com. These are the lies of Amnesty International. You want to know who's profiting? You have the terrorists and the anti-Israel activists who are enabling terror, enabling Jews to be murdered, enabling terrorists to get away with murder, enabling terrorists to get paid by a Palestinian authority. And who's enabling this? Amnesty International. Terrorists are profiting over the lies of Amnesty International. They're not calling out the horrible situation of refugees in Jordan or in Lebanon, or the horrible murders of hundreds of thousands in Syria. No, Amnesty International isn't talking about that. Amnesty International is talking about Jews being illegal occupiers of their own ancient ancestral homeland. Can you believe that Amnesty actually wrote in their report that Israel sets up settlements near biblical sites in order to brainwash the world that the Jewish people have a connection to this land? Do you hear that? That is the language of Amnesty International. Israel sets up Jewish settlements in Judea and Samaria or Jerusalem near biblical sites in order to brainwash the world that we are from here. That is the language of Amnesty International, right? We are setting up Jewish places to live in Judea and Samaria and near Jerusalem because we are from here, because the Bible took place here, because the biblical stories took place here, because our history took place here, not in order to make up a narrative. That's what the Arabs do. The Arabs make up a narrative. I'm not right now walking out with you outside of Jaffa Gate, and you'll see Jaffa Gate behind me. We just walked out of the old city, right? The Jewish people, the Bible is our story. The Bible is our history. Jerusalem is our history. Hebron is our history. Beit El, Shiloh, Bethlehem, it's all part of Jewish history. And that's why we live in all these places. And that's why we're setting up all these archaeological sites all through Judea and Samaria, digging up the history of the Jewish people, because this is where it came from. This is where we're from. This is where our DNA is from. And yet you have Amnesty lying in their report that we set up Jewish settlements in order to create near biblical sites in order to brainwash the world that we're connected to this land? No, we are connected to this land. The Bible is our story. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, the 12 tribes, the prophets, Those are our stories. That is our history. And we're living back in our ancestral homeland. We are correcting an injustice. We are correcting a wrong. And here you have Amnesty International that has sided with the evil of the evil of the evil. They are enabling terrorism. They are enabling murderers. They are enabling world powers to give money to Hamas and Palestinian Authority to incite terror, to teach children to murder, and then reward them for murdering us. Amnesty International is the evil ones here, not Israel. So everyone, when you're looking at these headlines about Amnesty International's latest report, the first thing you gotta do is you throw it in the garbage, because it is one whole piece of garbage. It belongs in the garbage, the dustbin of lies. And then you make plans to come visit Israel, and you use TripAdvisor.com and you use Booking.com to book places to stay around Israel and in Judea and Samaria and in the old city of Jerusalem. Do not let the lies and evil of Amnesty International and their anti-Semitic agenda. Well, why is it anti-Semitic? It's not just anti-Israel. They are whitewashing Jewish history. Amnesty basically says that the Jewish people have no connection to this land, that the Bible has no connection to us. Do you understand that? Amnesty basically wiped out the history of the Jewish people, that we exist, that the Bible's our history, that we're from here at all. That is anti-Semitic. Who would they do that? Why would they do that to any people? They just whitewashed our whole history in their report. It's horrible, it's horrible. But Simone's saying she can't stomach this. Focus on this, Simone. You see this beautiful stuff around me? See all these people? You see this beautiful city? That's the reality, Simone. We don't care.